Maturity is not about age, it's about attitude. It's choosing silence when anger wants to speak. It's valuing respect over revenge. It's taking responsibility instead of blaming others. It's growing strong without losing your softness. Law 1. Control yourself, not others. Maturity is not about how much control you have over other people. It's about how much control you have over yourself. Anyone can bark orders, manipulate situations, or push people into doing things against their will. But that's not true power. That's strength without wisdom. True power is when you can discipline yourself, when you can tame your own anger, when you can guide your own thoughts, and when you can stand firm against your own temptations. Think about it. What's harder? Forcing someone else to do what you want, or forcing yourself to resist what you want but know is harmful? Which is harder? Yelling at someone to obey, or remaining calm when your own emotions scream inside you? The truth is, self-control is the highest form of power because it requires courage, patience, and wisdom. It's easy to try and change the world, but the real test of maturity is to change yourself. Great leaders, philosophers, and even spiritual masters all understood this principle. They never wasted energy trying to control every person around them. Instead, they mastered themselves. They mastered their impulses, their emotions, their desires, and their habits. Why? Because when you control yourself, you influence others naturally. People are drawn to discipline. They respect those who live by example, not those who force them into obedience. Look at your own life. How many times have you lost peace trying to change someone else? How many arguments, disappointments, or frustrations came because you expected someone else to act differently? That's the trap of immaturity, believing others should bend to your will. But maturity says, I can't control them, but I can control me. I can't change what they do, but I can change how I respond. That is true freedom. When you control yourself, you win the inner battles that others never even see. You stop being a slave to anger, lust, greed, or ego. You stop reacting to every little thing that provokes you. You become calm when chaos surrounds you. You become strong when temptation knocks on your door. And that strength is far more powerful than controlling another person, because it cannot be taken away. Think of it like this. Controlling others may give you temporary dominance, but controlling yourself gives you permanent mastery. A person who can control themselves can survive storms, betrayals, and setbacks without breaking. They can walk through fire and not be burned, because their power does not depend on anyone else. It comes from within. This is why self-control is the foundation of maturity. If you want to grow in life, focus less on changing people and more on improving yourself. Focus less on what others do wrong and more on how you can respond right. Stop wasting energy trying to control external circumstances that are not in your hands, and redirect that energy toward mastering your own choices, your own habits, and your own character. The truth is, life will always test you. People will annoy you, disappoint you, and sometimes even betray you. Situations will not go according to plan. Challenges will come when you least expect them. But if you have control over yourself, nothing can destroy you. Your peace will remain, your focus will remain, and your maturity will shine, because people will see that no matter what life throws at you, you are unshaken. So remember this law. Control yourself, not others. Strength may control others, but true power is when you can control yourself. Maturity is when you realize that mastering your own mind, your own tongue, your own emotions, and your own actions is greater than any authority you could ever have over someone else. If you want to live free, if you want to live strong, and if you want to live wise, begin here. Begin by controlling yourself. That's where real maturity begins, and that's where greatness is born. Law 2. Expect nothing. Appreciate everything. One of the deepest signs of maturity is when you no longer live your life chained to expectations. Think about it. How often do people feel hurt, disappointed, or even bitter simply because reality didn't match their expectations? You expected someone to support you, but they didn't. You expected life to be easy, but it wasn't. You expected rewards instantly, but they came later, or not at all. That constant cycle of expectation and disappointment steals peace. It makes people miserable, not because life is unfair, but because they place conditions on their happiness. The truth is this: the less you expect, the freer you become. Maturity means understanding that nobody owes you anything. The world doesn't owe you recognition. People don't owe you loyalty. Even family and friends are not obligated to meet every need or live up to every hope you place on them. When you realize this truth, you stop depending on others for your happiness. And that's when something beautiful happens. You start appreciating what you do receive, no matter how small it is. Gratitude is the secret weapon of the mature soul. While expectations chain you to frustration, gratitude opens your eyes to blessings. When you learn to appreciate even the smallest things, the air you breathe, the food on your plate, the roof over your head, the kindness of a stranger, you unlock an inner peace that nothing can shake. Gratitude makes ordinary moments extraordinary. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already here. Think of two people waking up in the morning. One says, "Why is life so hard? Why don't I have more money, more comfort, more recognition?" That person will spend the day miserable, bitter, blind to the blessings around them. The other wakes up and says, "I'm grateful I woke up. I'm grateful I can breathe, walk, and live another day. I may not have everything I want, but I have enough to keep going." That person walks through the same day, but with joy, strength, and peace. What's the difference? Expectation versus appreciation. When you live with expectation, you place your happiness in the hands of others. But when you live with appreciation, you take back control. You say, "My peace does not depend on what others give me. My joy is not for sale. My gratitude is rooted in what I already have." That is maturity. Now, let's be clear. This does not mean you stop working hard or setting goals. Maturity does not mean you give up ambition. It means you understand the difference between desire and demand. You can desire success, but you don't demand it from life as if the universe owes you something. You can desire love, but you don't demand that every person treat you the way you imagine. You can desire progress, but you don't demand that it come instantly or without struggle. Instead, you work, you strive, you push forward, but you hold no entitlement. You expect nothing, so every blessing that comes feels like a gift. And because of that, your joy multiplies. Think about your own life. How many relationships were strained because of expectation? Maybe you expected people to understand you without explaining. Maybe you expected them to give back as much as you gave. Maybe you expected them to stay when they chose to leave. Those expectations led to disappointment. But what if, instead, you had chosen appreciation? What if you had been grateful for the moments they did show up, the love they did give, the lessons they left behind? The pain would still be there, yes, but it would be lighter, because gratitude heals where expectation wounds. Maturity teaches you that peace comes not from having everything, but from seeing the value in what you already have. The happiest people are not the ones with the most possessions or perfect circumstances. They are the ones who look around and say, "Thank you." So remember this law: expect nothing, appreciate everything. Free yourself from the prison of entitlement. Stop waiting for life to be perfect. Stop waiting for people to act the way you think they should, and start noticing the blessings right in front of you. Wake up every day with gratitude in your heart, and you will find inner peace that no disappointment can steal. Because when you expect nothing, every little thing becomes a gift, and life itself becomes enough. Law 3. Learn to react less. One of the greatest marks of maturity is the ability to remain calm when the world tries to provoke you. Anyone can react instantly, lash out when insulted, argue when criticized, or explode when frustrated. That's easy. What's hard is to pause, breathe, and respond with wisdom instead of impulse. Maturity is not measured by how quickly you react, but by how well you control your reactions. Life will always test you. People will misunderstand you, some will disrespect you, circumstances will frustrate you. If you react to everything, you hand over your power. Every time you snap back, every time you let anger control you, every time you let someone's words disturb your peace, You allow them to dictate your emotions, and that is the easiest way to be manipulated. But when you learn to react less, you take your power back. You become untouchable. You tell the world you may control the situation, but you will not control me. That is where true maturity shines. Think of a calm river compared to a raging storm. The storm reacts to every shift in the wind, throwing chaos in every direction. But the river flows steadily, unshaken by the noise around it. Which one would you rather be? When you learn to react less, you create space between stimulus and response. That space is where your freedom lives. In that pause, you can choose, do I get angry or do I stay calm? Do I fight back or do I walk away? Do I let this moment poison my peace or do I rise above it? Every time you choose patience over impulse, you grow stronger. Understand this. Your reaction is your responsibility. People may provoke you, but they cannot force you to react. That's your choice. If someone insults you and you stay calm, you win. If someone disrespects you and you rise above it, you win. If circumstances test you and you don't lose your peace, you win. Because maturity is not about controlling others. It's about controlling yourself when others try to control you. Now, this does not mean you should be silent in the face of injustice or never defend yourself. Reacting less does not mean being weak. It means being wise. It means knowing when to speak and when to stay silent, when to fight and when to walk away, when to pour energy into a battle and when to protect your peace. That is strength, not weakness. Think about how many regrets in your life came from reacting too quickly. How many arguments escalated because you spoke in anger. How many relationships were damaged because you didn't pause to think before responding. How many opportunities slipped away because you let emotion override wisdom. Every regret whispers the same lesson. You could have reacted less. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine facing criticism with calmness. Imagine being insulted, yet smiling because you know your worth is not defined by their words. Imagine losing something important, yet remaining steady because you trust life will give you another chance. Imagine being tested and yet refusing to break because you chose peace over impulse. That is the maturity of reacting less. The truth is, people who react less hold more power. Why? Because they are unpredictable. When you stop reacting to everything, people cannot control you with their behavior. They cannot disturb your peace. They cannot trigger you. They cannot weaken you. You stand tall, calm, and untouchable. So how do you practice this law? Start small. When someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of cursing, take a breath. When someone ignores your efforts, instead of reacting with bitterness, remind yourself that your value does not come from their recognition. When life throws a setback your way, instead of reacting with despair, choose patience. Over time, these small choices build a fortress of inner strength. Remember, maturity is not about never feeling emotions. It's about not being controlled by them. You will still feel anger, frustration, sadness, and pain. But instead of reacting immediately, you master the art of choosing your response. That's how you rise above the noise of the world. So hold this law deep in your heart. Learn to react less. Because when you control your reactions, no one can manipulate you, no insult can break you, and no circumstance can steal your peace. That is the power of maturity. Law 4. Stop telling people everything. One of the most overlooked signs of maturity is learning the power of silence. Immature people want to share everything, their plans, their struggles, their dreams, their victories, with anyone who will listen. But with time and wisdom, you begin to realize that not everyone around you wants the best for you. Not everyone claps when you win. Not everyone cares about your journey. Some people are simply waiting for you to reveal too much so they can use it against you. Maturity is understanding that your life does not need to be an open book for everyone to read. When you constantly tell people everything, your ideas, your struggles, your weaknesses, you make yourself vulnerable to judgment, envy, and sabotage. The harsh truth is, most people are not truly interested in your life. They're either curious for gossip or secretly hoping you fail so they can feel better about themselves. That's why learning to be selective with your words is not selfish. It's wise. Think about it. How many times have you shared your dreams with someone, only to feel their doubt discourage you? How many times have you opened your heart, only for someone to later use your pain against you? How many times have you shared your plans, only to see them fall apart because you spoke too soon? These experiences teach you a powerful lesson. Silence protects you. Silence is not weakness. It is strength. It's knowing that your goals don't need validation. It's realizing that your progress does not need applause. It's understanding that the less people know about your moves, the harder it is for them to stop you. Mature people don't need to announce everything they're working on. They let their results speak for them. There's a saying, work in silence, let success make the noise. That is the heart of this law. When you stop telling everyone everything, you conserve your energy. Instead of wasting time explaining, justifying, or proving yourself, you focus on the work. And when the results come, people cannot deny it. But this law is not just about protecting dreams. It's also about protecting your peace. Not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every feeling needs to be shared. Not every problem needs to be broadcast. The more you talk, the more chances you give people to misunderstand, misjudge, or misuse your words. Maturity teaches you that silence often says more than words ever could. Now, does this mean you should never open up? No, it means you should choose wisely who you confide in. A mature person understands that trust is sacred, and not everyone deserves access to their inner world. Share with those who have proven loyalty, those who genuinely care, those who celebrate your growth instead of secretly competing with you. Even then, be mindful. Keep some things between you and God, between you and your own soul. Look at history. Great thinkers, leaders, and visionaries all knew the value of silence. They worked quietly, protected their ideas, and let the world see only the final masterpiece. They understood that revealing too much too soon invites interference, jealousy, and resistance. The same applies to your life. Your dreams are seeds. Plant them in silence, water them in privacy, and let them grow strong before exposing them to the world. Ask yourself this. Do you talk more about your plans than you work on them? Do you seek validation by telling people what you're going to do, rather than actually doing it? If so, you may be sabotaging yourself without even realizing it. Maturity demands discipline, not only in action, but also in speech. Remember this, your words are powerful, and once released, they can never be taken back. Sometimes silence is the most powerful move you can make. It confuses those who expect you to reveal everything. It protects you from those who secretly want your downfall, and it strengthens you because you no longer need approval. You trust yourself and the process. So hold this law close to your heart. Stop telling people everything. Guard your dreams, protect your peace, share your battles and victories only with those who have earned the right to hear them. The less people know, the more powerful you become. Because maturity is not about being secretive, it's about being wise enough to know that silence is often your greatest protection. Law 5, choose your friends wisely, show me your friends, and I will show you your future. The people you surround yourself with shape your mindset, influence your habits, and determine the direction of your life more than you realize. Maturity is not just about controlling yourself, reacting less, or being grateful. It's also about having the wisdom to choose who walks beside you on your journey. The truth is, not everyone deserves a place in your inner circle. Some people bring out the best in you. They inspire you, challenge you, and help you rise higher. Others drain your energy, belittle your dreams, and keep you stuck in the same cycles of mediocrity. A mature person understands this difference and chooses their company with great care. Look closely at the people you spend the most time with. Do they push you to grow, or do they keep you comfortable in your weakness? Do they celebrate your victories, or do they secretly envy them? Do they encourage discipline, or do they tempt you into distraction? The fastest way to improve yourself is to surround yourself with people who are already where you want to be. There's a saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. But let's add this truth. If you want to go higher, go with the right people. Because the wrong friends will keep you grounded when you were meant to fly. Think about it. If you spend your days with people who gossip, complain, and waste time, you will eventually do the same. If you surround yourself with people who chase comfort instead of growth, you will slowly lose your hunger. But if you walk with people of discipline, vision, and purpose, their energy becomes contagious. Their habits will challenge your habits. Their mindset will elevate your mindset. Their success will stretch your belief in what's possible. That's why maturity is choosing quality over quantity when it comes to friendships. You don't need a large crowd. You need a loyal circle. You don't need people who always agree with you. You need people who tell you the truth even when it hurts because they want to see you grow. You don't need people who clap when you fall. You need people who help you stand up again. But here's the hard part. Sometimes choosing your friends wisely means letting go of the wrong ones. This is where many people struggle. They hold on to toxic friendships out of fear of being alone. They stay loyal to people who secretly hold them back because it feels safer than walking alone. But maturity teaches you that being alone is better than being surrounded by the wrong company. Loneliness is temporary. Bad company can ruin your life. Think of it like this. Friendships are like soil. Your dreams are seeds. If the soil is toxic, the seed cannot grow, no matter how much potential it has. But if the soil is rich, the seed will flourish effortlessly. Your environment matters. Your friendships matter. If you truly want to grow, you must plant yourself in the right soil. Choosing friends wisely doesn't mean you look for perfect people. No one is perfect. It means you look for people who are real, people who are growing, people who align with your values and respect your journey. It means surrounding yourself with those who bring peace, not drama, encouragement, not doubt, inspiration, not temptation. And here's the beauty of it. When you choose your friends wisely, you also give yourself permission to be that kind of friend to others. You learn to uplift, support, and inspire because you know how powerful the right company can be. So ask yourself today, who are the 5 people I spend the most time with? Are they building me up or tearing me down? Are they pushing me toward my purpose or pulling me away from it? Your answer will tell you more about your future than any fortune teller ever could. Remember this law, choose your friends wisely, because the people you walk with will either fuel your growth or feed your destruction. Maturity is realizing that your circle is your responsibility. Protect it, shape it, fill it with people who reflect where you want to go, not where you've been. Because at the end of the day, your environment is stronger than your willpower. Surround yourself with better people and you will become better. That is the fastest way to rise. That is the power of maturity.